What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of What the Elle. I'm your host, Elle Kramer, and today I am back in business. I started my first week of school. It was very stressful, to be honest with you. It was like a lot because I didn't realize that I needed to have an internship before school started to graduate in time, and if I didn't get that, I wouldn't graduate in time, and that's just like part of my program that I need for the college I'm at. And that sent me into a existential crisis for about 2 days, and I was panicking and couldn't find any of my, like, I could not find an internship, and I was really panicking, and then I found one. So I'm very thankful that God pulled through and took care of me because I was very scared that I was not going to get an internship for the semester. So luckily I did. I will be starting next week. I am going to be a little marketing intern, and it's going to be so fun, and it's going to be the best. I'm going to have the best time, and I just can't wait. So this week has been a lot because I've had to digest a lot of stuff. I had to go to school, and like this is my last semester, and I was really afraid that it wasn't going to be my last semester just in case they said that I wasn't going to graduate and I didn't get the internship. If that happened, I don't know what I was going to do. I was not okay. I was having an existential crisis because I was like, if I don't graduate in December, I can't do another semester of college. There's just no way it can happen for me. I'm not ready to do that. And so I know that we've been doing a lot of hard hitting subjects lately, like breakups and stuff. And I mean, as I should, that's important to talk about. Like, breakups are very important to talk about. And I would love to give all the advice I can because it's not the easiest thing to go through. And yeah, but whatever I say, take with a grain of salt, of course. So if you haven't listened to my new episodes about breakups, breakup advice part one and breakup advice part two, the first one is like the initial shock and like going through it and being being on both sides of the spectrum, but mainly being the one that broke up with the person. I probably should do another episode. Actually, I don't know. I don't want to talk about breakups anymore. I'm trying to move on. I just need to do something lighthearted and funny this week because I'm tired of going through this breakup and being sad because I've just been like, I've seen more and more stuff that made me realize, like, okay, I made the right decision. Trusting my gut is the right call, and everything works out for a reason. And yeah, thank God I trusted myself and went with my intuition because, yes, it hurts. And yes, it's an emotional roller coaster, but I know that God is with me and I will love the right person 20 times thousand more. And if you can love the wrong person that much, like, imagine how much you can love the right person. Anyways, that's my little tidbit of breakup advice for today. But enough of that. Today we are talking about unpopular opinions, about hot takes. And my first one is probably controversial because I feel like I've definitely taken part in this trend on the internet saying Delulu is the Salulu. So what that means is, like, being delusional is the solution. Like, whenever you're talking to a guy and he's made it clear that he just doesn't like you, and like your friend just keeps spinning these versions of this, like, what we created in our head. She's like, no, well, maybe he's just busy, maybe he's just doing this, and then like you start just like going on and on with the delusions that you and your best friend are creating up about this guy, and you're like, it's not healthy. And like, I think it's really important to see the situation for what it is. And I mean, I have taken part in this, like, mindset, like delusional, like just be delusional, whatever. But I mean, I think it's not the best thing to do for yourself, just because whenever you are doing that, you looking at the potential of the situation. You aren't looking at the situation for what it is, and that is where your feelings can get hurt and where things can get messy. And that's just my advice on Delulu is the Salulu. Delulu is not the Salulu. Seeing the situation for what it is the Salulu. And yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Next one. Taking a break is stupid. If you want to take a break, maybe reevaluate and just break up. This one is probably unpopular because I myself whenever I was on the verge of possibly ending things with my significant other at one time, I was like, maybe I should just take a break with him. No, babe, that means I don't want to be with him anymore, but I'm just afraid to let him go. That's literally what that means. And you have to be honest with yourself. And I was literally telling myself that. I was like, well, maybe he just needs time. Well, if he can't figure it out right now, I don't have the time to wait for somebody to figure it out, frankly. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think if you want to take a break, you should just break up, because why do you want to take a break? Like, what's the reasoning behind that? I just think that's ultimately prolonging the inevitable. And at that point, you should just break up with your partner, and you're gonna save yourself extra heartache and the person that you're with extra heartache, because you are wasting their time. You're not only wasting your time, but you're wasting their time. So, yeah, it's don't take a break, just break up. Um, my next one, I might get, I don't know, I'm scared. Don't come for me for this one. Taylor Swift is overrated. So I say this, I loved Taylor Swift back in like whenever I was in middle school, because like I grew up on listening to her like do her little country girl routine and like Hannah Montana, all of that stuff. Like, just I miss her country era. And I think a lot of the people in my generation, besides the Swifties, can agree with that. Like, I just will every single time she comes on, I just skip, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know. It just like, I was happy for her, like, go off with your pop music, but I've just never been Swifty and tried to be for a while, but like, it's just not who I am. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. My next one. Sometimes driving in silence is top tier. Sometimes you just want to go home in silence. Sometimes sitting in traffic with no noise besides the other people in the street is the only noise I want to hear. I don't want to hear anything else besides my thoughts. And that's only sometimes. Sometimes I'm all for listening to music, but it honestly really just depends. So, yeah. Sometimes I really like to drive in silence. It's kind of nice. It allows you to just like think about stuff more and be more slow and mindful about everything. Texas Roadhouse is not all of that. Love their bread. That's about it. Like, if I'm choosing between Texas Roadhouse and like Popeyes, I'm choosing Popeyes. I just don't love Texas Roadhouse. It's not my thing. Horoscopes aren't true. I think they can fit a certain type of person to an extent, but I think basing your entire personality off of it kind of weird and strange, and I don't really like that. But I mean, I that's just personally my opinion on horoscopes. I don't love them. They just don't align with me for some reason. Yeah. So horoscopes, they're just not you're everyone is so unique, and I just don't like how it puts everyone in a certain like category. Like, you're either this person or this person. Like, no, I've literally met so many Leos who are nice. Like, not everyone who's a Leo is bad news. Like, I hate when people are like, "Oh my gosh, you're a Leo? Okay, we can never speak. I'm never ever dating another Leo. Oh my gosh, you were born in the month of May. We can't date. We cannot date. No, no, no. We are not dating. Like, no, I don't mess with that. I think that's kind of, I think you're being, what's the word? You're like segregate. You're like discriminating people based on what month they were born in. Like, that's literally discrimination. It's discrimination no matter what. It's still discrimination. Like, just because somebody was born in May doesn't mean that they're gonna be the worst mistake of your life. Like, I don't know. I just think putting somebody's personality and their horoscope or like their star sign together is like not the vibe. I don't like that. Next one. I think trio friendships are better than group of four. Just because, I don't know, I've been in multiple trio situations. I'm in like 3 trio friendships, like friend groups, and like, I don't know, there's just something so much more powerful about being in a trio friend group. Like, there's one person that just brings that fire and that spark and that charisma, and then there's that other person who just brings the like that nice bubbly calm personality, who's like the mom of the group. And then there's the one that's like really unhinged and crazy and like loud, and is the one who is the comedic relief of the group and like the therapist friend all in one. I don't know. This the three friendship trio, like the trio friendships are just the best. They're better than anything. If you need friends, just find two friends and then you'll be good because y'all will just be an unstoppable force. Trio friend groups are just the best ever. So yeah. Next unpopular opinion. Celebrity worship is concerning. Don't like how worldly we are about celebrities now and how much we idolize them. Like they are not a god. God of the world is heaven. Like Jesus Christ is Lord. That is another unpopular opinion. Jesus Christ is the Lord of everything. And yeah. And I know that's an unpopular opinion because Christianity is definitely like beaten down right now in the world. Just know that he's real and yeah, there's no if, and, or but about that in my eyes. So yeah, celebrity worship is concerning. Stop idolizing people that you don't even know who are probably part of bad things that you don't know about and don't want to know about. So yeah. Also, Jesus is our Lord and Savior. Amen. Okay. Hookup culture is toxic. That is one I've been saying since I've started this podcast. I don't like hookup culture. I don't take part in it. It has never been something that is good for me because I'm too emotional, as well as most other girls in Gen Z or just girls in general. We're emotional creatures, and hooking up with somebody is opening that door, interlocking yourself with that person, whether you like to see it or not. You're creating a soul tie with that person, and it's just so difficult to break that soul tie once you create that with somebody. And having it with multiple people, just hurting yourself even further. Like if you're trying to fill up a hole, it's not going to fill that hole. It's going to be temporary gratification that will come and go, and it'll be fleeting, and it'll just leave you feeling worse off than you already started. So that got kind of deep. Oh well. Okay, next one. The order in which I get ready is makeup, hair, outfit. And I do this because my hair is super thin and I usually take a shower whenever I'm getting ready. Like after I'm getting ready, I took my shower and then my hair is drying. My hair is like air drying for a little bit. And then so I'm starting doing my makeup. My hair is drying. And then in the middle of my makeup, I pause. My hair's about to dry, and then I'll pull out my hair wand thing, like my Dyson dupe. Like if you know what a Dyson is, it's like that really nice hair brush thing, like that all the hairstylists use that makes you have like a Brazilian blowout look. I have one from like TJ Maxx for like $25. Love her. She gets the job done. Hopefully not ruining my hair in the process. Fingers crossed. But we'll see that in a few months. We'll see the split ends in a few months, I'm sure. So yeah, makeup, hair, outfit. And I don't know why you would put your outfit on first, because I personally get makeup. I get makeup everywhere, like all over my hands and like my neck and brown stuff. I just don't think it's a good idea. So I typically have like my random clothes that I had on before, or I'll just put on like a t-shirt and shorts whenever I'm doing my makeup, because I'm going to get that shit on my outfit that I'm wearing whenever I'm done doing my makeup. Like if I'm going to get that on my cute outfit that I don't want to get it on is what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Next one, don't hold the door for me unless, okay, so some people say don't hold the door for me unless I'm 10 feet away. I say that's too much. You should hold the door for me if I'm 5 feet away and no further than that. That is the furthest that you can do, because otherwise it's just awkward, and I'm not trying to run to the door just because you're holding it for me. Like, I hold the door for people, but like they're like right behind me or coming in next to me at the same time as me, or like, yeah, like you don't hold the door whenever somebody's so far away, because it's just awkward and you feel obligated, like you have to run and like do this weird trot, and it's just awkward. Nobody wants to do that. So hold the door for me if I'm 5 feet away from you, and no further. It can be less than that, obviously. Okay. um This is an interesting one. The person who asks you on the date should pay for the date, but in rare occurrence, if I ask and he pays, I won't be mad, of course. But I think this like goes without saying, like, if I asked a guy on a date, I should pay for the date. I mean, but like I don't know when I'm gonna do that. Like I don't know whenever I'm gonna ask a guy on a date because like I'm in my solo girl era. I'm for TBD. I don't know how long we'll be in this era. For the extent of the rest of this year, I will be in my solo girl era. But so like if I ask a guy on a date, I feel like I should pay for it or at least act like I'm going to pay for it and like pull out my wallet whenever the check's coming or whatever just because I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. Like whoever asks you for like to go on the date should pay for it. But I mean, if he's gonna be a gentleman and pay for it because like that's just who he is. Like obviously he made me pay for it. Okay, wait. I don't know. It's like I would want if I asked him on a date and he made me pay like and I paid for it and he let me. I don't know if I would want that because I would still want him to pay for it even though I offered. Like I think the man should pay for it, but the woman should still offer because it's nice. But like I think the man should pay for it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. The woman should offer to pay for it, but like I left my wallet at home. Like all I have in my purse is like my chapstick, my lip gloss, my phone, and my ID in case I wanted a cocktail. That's all I got in my purse. So don't expect me to pull up with that check because like, I'll pretend like I am because I'm a nice person and I want you to feel like I'm a charitable person, but at the same time, I'm not gonna pay for it because as the man, you should pay for it. But I mean, yeah, that's what I think. So the person who asked you on the date should pay for the date. That is my unpopular opinion. But if you're gonna pay for my meal, I'm not mad. Yeah. Another unpopular opinion. This summer, low key kind of sucked. It was really hot. It was really, really hot. Felt like there wasn't a lot to do. I was just working the whole summer. It was boring. I mean, the beginning of it was kind of fun, but like, I don't know, the novelty of like summer kind of just wore off in the middle of like June. I don't know why. It was just not giving what it gave last summer. Like this summer was just like meh. Like yeah, it was an okay summer. Like it wasn't like the summer. It wasn't like 2016 summer. Like I don't know. Everyone was like, I just lived my best life this summer. I'm like, okay, I lived my best life too, but it wasn't my best life ever. Like it wasn't the best time of my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I think. My next unpopular opinion, can everyone stop getting engaged? Like, please, for the love of God, take a break, watch the news, listen to a podcast, take a cold shower, go to the grocery store, go to the farmer's market, but just don't get engaged for like a little bit, at least until like some of us can catch up because everyone is just getting engaged. And frankly, I'm over it. Like, bring back all the single people. Where did they go? All the good ones out there are either taken or they're emotionally unavailable. So, what am I supposed to do with that? There's nothing you can do with that. Okay, my next one is we need to bring back Jenna Marbles. I was very upset with the internet whenever she got canceled for whatever reason she got canceled. Also, another unpopular opinion, canceling is stupid. Stop canceling people. Like, what are you doing that for? That there's no need to cancel people. Stop it. Jenna Marbles needs to come back to the internet. She's part of my childhood. I miss her so much. Shame on the internet for making her feel like she can't post on it anymore. So, yeah. Um I think you know how they always tell you like you shouldn't quit something? Well, I think if you want to quit something, like if you hate it that much, then you should quit it. Like I'm never going to be the person to like make my kids stay in a sport because they hate it. Like I'm going to make them do a sport, at least one, because like sports are good for you and stuff, but like if there's like multiple if they're doing multiple sports and they hate one of them or they hate I made them play violin for a year or something and they hated it, then they can quit. Like you don't have to do that your whole life just because you hate it. Like I'm not going to like what if you have another passion? What if I force my child to be a med school like be a doctor, but they really love to play the violin. And like I would feel so terrible knowing that I made my son go to med school, learned all of this stuff to be a doctor, just for him to tell me on his 25 years now that he wishes that he got to play the violin more, and he wishes he could write music and be a orchestra person. I don't know, do something with his violin skills because you didn't let him do that. And I think sometimes you should let somebody quit. You should let people quit stuff if it isn't right for them. But I mean, also like use your discretion. Like, I mean, maybe give it like 6 months at least to see if you can like adjust to it. But don't like quitting initially. Don't quit initially, like right when you start something. But if you just are really not into something, why would you keep doing it if you hate it? Stop being so hard on yourself and let go of that principle. And if you don't like it, just stop doing it. Cheerleading is a sport. I think I looked on the internet and it said that cheerleading was not recognized as a sport, but the things that they do should be a sport. That's all I have to say about that one. Yeah. People who don't like cats have control issues. Unless you've just had a really bad experience with cat and they like clawed you for some reason and you're terrified and traumatized from them, then that's okay. But if you just don't like cats because they won't come to you whenever you try to get them to come to you, or it doesn't want you to pet it, that's because you have a problem with control and you don't like the fact that the cat can doesn't want to listen to you. Like the cat's aloof. The cat's gonna do what it wants. And I feel like a lot of men who don't like cats have control issues. I don't know. Just think about it. Just think about it. So if they don't like cats, why do you not like cats, huh? What's the reason behind it? I mean, there's two areas for him to go in. He could either not like cats because he had a bad experience with cats, and that's completely valid. Because I mean, I would be scared too if like a cat tore up my arm for no reason. But if he just doesn't like cats because he doesn't like cats and he thinks they're mean or something, or like he thinks they're like not cuddly like dogs, then he probably has some skeletons in the closet and you should run away. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I feel like this depends on the situation and the person. Like I've seen people cheat and stay in that relationship, somehow make it work, go through a lot of growth and mental looking inward and working it out and never cheating again. I've also seen people cheat and cheat again and cheat again and cheat again. So like I've seen it both happen, but like personally, you can grow and never cheat again. That'll always be in the back of my head. I'm like, will he cheat on me? You know, like that's something that would be I would be scared to think about because I don't want to think about somebody cheating on me. Like that's not something that you want to think about your partner doing. So, yeah. Beer tastes like pee. I don't like beer. I don't know what pee tastes like, but if I did, it would taste like beer. And I also love thrifting more than I love designer stuff. That is my other unpopular opinion. I like to go to Goodwill and sift through every article of clothing for about 2 hours with my headphones in and just find the really good stuff that you wouldn't find at a designer store. Like that really good worn in shirt, you wouldn't find that anywhere. You wouldn't find that at the designer store. That really good pair, that worn in pair of Levi's, I got them at the thrift store. Thrifting is the way to go. And so, sorry about the late episode. Not really. You should subscribe to my YouTube channel, listen to this on whatever platform you listen to, and make sure you follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my podcast, leave new questions on the platform, whatever platform you listen to this on, and make sure to leave a review, leave a like. That would be very greatly appreciated. And new episodes every Friday. With that, I'll see you next Friday. And stay savage, stay sexy, and stay tuned for another episode of What the Elle. I love you.